TransplantChild. The platform, the CPMS, is a digital tool designed by the DG Santé to carry out this activity. All you know that is necessary to get an access, both for uploading new cases, new clinical cases, but also for participate as members of the advisory group, as an expert to discuss the new uploaded clinical cases. You can request this access to the coordinators team in this email, and it's completely necessary and obligatory to have this access to participate. This uploading of clinical cases has been established as three-phase process. The first phase, only the healthcare providers, members of the network, can upload cases to be discussed. In the second phase, the healthcare providers from the states with a member in the network, and the third phase would be for every center in Europe with active pediatric transplantation programs. They also will be can to upload and discuss clinical cases from their centers. No. Well, I think it seems to be okay. Well, the objectives of this activity is to achieve a sustained activity over time. We decided to upload 36 cases since the platform was fully operational until March in 2018, this past March. And we also agreed to get a response time adapted to the urgency of each case, but anyway, no longer than 2 to 4 weeks. It was created a help desk in July of 2018, just for technical training and support to every center, to every healthcare provider in the use of the CPMS. Just a reminder that it's completely necessary to obtain the signed informed consent before uploading a case, and the forms for this consent are available in the platform. So it's in different languages, and this consent has been evaluated by the local ethical committees in every center. The content of this webinar. Firstly, I want to commend the activity of the CPMS from November 2017 to February 2018. I want to point out some difficulties we have found, and we have some suggestions to take over these difficulties. This is the structure that was created to this system. Any professional in these three different phases we have just commented in the past slides could upload a clinical case and to the platform. After that, a panel of experts will be elected, and they will discuss the clinical case, and a clinical option, a clinical opinion, a clinical response will be obtained and given back to the professional, to the physician that has uploaded the case from the beginning. A panel of experts was formed. As you can see, not every type of transplant is equally represented. We have pathologists and nephrologists more than cardiologists, for example, or specialists in hematopoietic stem cell transplantation. So we have to, in some way, to get a balance between different types of transplants in the near future. Regarding the activity, as you can see here, the activity of the clinical platform has been in the network. We have selected three different indicators that we have considered to be analyzed and evaluate for the evaluation of the activity of the members within the system. The first indicator is the number of registered users. For instance, the number of people who are authorized to use the system. At this moment, there are 83 users that have been registered for all the healthcare providers in the network. However, it's necessary to say that of this total number, only 59 are what can be considered as active users, which means that they have logged in the CPMS at least once. So, at least once they have entered the CPMS and have participated in the activities. The second indicator is the number of active users per month. This number gives us real information on how many members are actively using the system. This is probably the most important indicator, since the number is increasing each month, and with the last month in January being the month with the highest CPMS usage, reaching almost half of the registered users participating in the CPMS. Finally, the third indicator is the number of open panels, the number of clinical cases that have been uploaded to the platform. Thanks to the cooperation of the different members of the network, we have now 33 panels open, with an average of 5 new panels per month since August 2018. The actual number of patients who have been benefit from these consultation panels now is 22 patients. So, according to the three different indicators, we can say that the activity on the platform in TransplantChild has significantly increased, with a special increase in the months since August the past year, in 2018. taking in consideration not all the healthcare providers of the network are collaborating at the same level, at the same rate. As you can see here, the activity is distributed by centers, and some centers have had delays with approval of the informed consent, which has probably has been the reason for the delay in the formation of the platforms, and therefore in the delay in the initiation of the activity in these centers. So all the centers should have the approval of the informed consent, obviously, to start the activity. That could explain some centers with no activity at the moment in the platform. Yeah, well, although the activity of the system is increasing and the ERNN members are becoming more and more familiar with the system, there are still some problems and difficulties that delay the panel's workflow. So at the moment, the average time of panels from the moment it's open to the moment it's closed is more than 100 days, and probably this is not acceptable, and we have some reasons to explain this, and because probably very often the panels get stuck in some stages pending of any member's action, for example, the panel selection. As you can see here, we have noticed that the stages at which most panels get stuck are the panel selection and data completion. And we believe that this is happening because the workflow of the panel depends on the action of one of the members. So probably it should be we should be able to improve this setting. On the other hand, the step where less time is dedicated is the most important step in the process, as it is the assessment, which is where the case should be discussed. So far, we have seen that experts, when they come to accept the invitation, is when they review the case and make their comments or requests. For example, during the panel selection, some members might accept the invitation and after reviewing the case may ask for additional information of the patient, but the panel lead, the one who is in charge to monitor the flow of the panel, will not be able to upload the information until the rest of the members accept the invitation. So additionally, if during the panel selection some members have very clear this advice, they cannot record it until the panel is at the assessment stage. So this is some examples of difficulties that we have realized are happening, and these are issues that should be improved or resolved in the near future if we want the CPMS to work properly. There is a close monitoring of all the steps by the help desk assistants and supporting members in the activity and helping the panels to be more dynamic. We have created a protocol just to make it work and try not to delay the activity or delay the workflow of every panel. As you can see here, it seems to be complicated, but only is just to put some lines in the different phases of the process, so that the delays are not longer than has been established in this protocol. So we have decided that in the panel selection, not should take longer than 2 weeks, and the data completion also not should take longer than 1 week, and the assessments 2 weeks, so that we have tried to shorten every step and just to move the case, to move the panel across the different phases of the phases of the project. So That's the role of the help desk in monitoring and um, to checking that the process is being done without more delays than has been established as in this protocol. We have detected some difficulties, for example, that in our network, the presence of experts in the different types of transplants is not homogeneous, so that could represent an overload of participation for some members, for some experts, as, for example, cardiologists or hematologists, specialists in hematopoietic stem cell transplantation. They are less experts in these areas, so we should, in the near future, to get a balance between the different types of transplants, so not trying not to overload of work to some members, to some experts. Another difficulty was logical and expected, as we are probably in the learning curve in the use of a new environment, as it is the platform, and that means some difficulties that could be resolved in the near future. Also, we have found some difficulties. The design workflow for panels that was decided by the DigiSanté could be in some way confusing and could be simplified, and we are working on this. These are some suggestions. I'm not going to we're not going to comment now in detail because it's complicated, but suggestions to simplify the process, the workflow of the panels, and we are sure that they will make it simpler and make it easier, the finishing of the discussion of the panels in the near future. So this is the proposal, and our proposal is to reduce the number of steps in the process to just three steps, where the users had the opportunity of using almost all the features of the CPMS panels, no matter what the other members do. The three steps would be: first one, the opening of the panel; second, the assessment; and third, the outcome of the panel. The first one, at this stage, the panel lead has to complete the consultation request form, add the clinical information of the panel of the patient, and invite some members to join the panel all at once at the same moment. So then forward to assessment. In the second phase assessment, at this stage, the members would accept their invitation within a period of time deadline of 2 weeks, no more than that, and can review the case and make the contribution all at once. The panel members can also request additional data of the patient, and the panel lead can complete information editing the form without stopping the assessment. And any member can also attend meetings. The panel members would have the possibility of recording the contribution directly in the timeline, the right side of the screen. If needed, the panel lead would also have the opportunity to invite in other experts during this phase of assessment. And finally, the third phase, the outcome. Once the assessment is finished, the panel lead can move the panel forward to the outcome stage, where an outcome document can be edited. The rest of the panel members would have a deadline to review this final document, and make suggestions if they consider necessary. Once the outcome is ready, the panel members should have the option to sign off the outcome when it can be no longer edited. Once the panel outcome is signed off, it will be automatically closed within 1 month. So we have clearly differentiated 3 phases, just to simplify the workflow of the process, and with the objective of decrease as much as possible the time from the consultation to the response in each clinical case. Well, it's interesting to see where we are regarding the other networks. You can see both in terms of the number of active users and in terms of the number of clinical cases discussed of the number of panels. You can see here in red color is TransplantChild. We have in the fourth position in both respecting to both indicators. So I think it's a reason to be satisfied with this activity until now, but we think we have also a margin to improve, and we want to improve, especially as I have tried to explain in the time it takes to get an adequate response to the case that has been uploaded to the platform. Well, in summary, I want to remark that the clinical patient management system activity has increased significantly since the platform was operational in November 2017, both in the number of active users and in the number of clinical cases uploaded. That TransplantChild members, we feel that are becoming more and more familiar with the system, and that's necessary as to obtain the results we wanted. That the help desk is being effective in both in the technical support and also in the coordination and monitoring of the activity in the CPMS. They are doing a huge work, a huge effort in getting the best results. Obviously, we recognize that there are still problems to be solved, the most important of which is the prolonged time to generate the response from the panel of experts, and work is being done from the coordination of the network to simplify the process and shorten the workflow. But in order to achieve a fully operational CPMS activity, the maximum involvement of all the members of the network will be necessary, both in the uploading of cases, but also in the participation as experts in the discussion in the panels. This is the situation now. If some of you, Francelina, you have any question about this content, this information, I will be.
Have we a new system provided by the European Commission? CPMS is the same, or there is a new version?
Well, for the moment, it's going to be the same. The one that is working now, that you probably has tested and has worked with. All of these difficulties and all of these chances to improve, simplifying the workflow in the platform, they are aware of this, and they are taking it in account, are trying to improve, and are trying to change the platform just to simplify the process and make it simpler and easier for the users, for us, and the users and the networks. But for the moment, the version is working now is the same. But in the near future, probably they are going to change some things.
Okay. Thank you for your nice presentation. It's very good.
Thank you for attending, Francelina. Yes. Regards. So all of this information will be, as always, will be placed in the TransplantChild web page, in the part dedicated to the webinars that have been done. So you can consult, you can see it, and you will have there all the information I have tried to present you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.